All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, September 16th, 2020, and I have a very special treat for you guys this morning. I was blessed to meet this young lady a few weeks back here right in Cranberry, Pennsylvania, and I wanted to share her story literally instantly after I started talking to her. One of the very first comments she made to me was about pursuing the American dream. And so I look forward to sharing her story with you guys this morning. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
So I am pleased to introduce all of you to my new friend, Meaza. And I got to tell you, so I'll tell you guys a story of how I met Meaza. So I was running to Home Goods for my wife, looking for some stuff, and I pulled up into the parking space, and I see this young lady who has her vehicle there, and she is cranking an enclosed trailer with a coffee sign on the side of it. It says Delina's Ethiopian Cafe. And I'm like, I said, excuse me, what are you doing over there? And she's like, well, this is my coffee shop and this is what I do. And so we started talking and she told me where she was from. So I don't want to steal too much of that thunder, but I instantly, and you can verify this live here on the air, I said to her, I'm going to help you promote your company and I want to tell your story to people. True?
Yes.
And we connected on Facebook. We communicated a couple of times. Yesterday, I don't even know, how did I see that you were looking for a vehicle? You messaged me, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw your message about the separation season.
That's right. That's right. So she messaged me and said, hey, I watched the show and this was my response. You know, I was thinking, man, I need to buy this new vehicle. This is kind of my opportunity for separation season. And I said, listen, why don't you stop by our office here and we'll let some construction guys give you some advice on what kind of truck to purchase, because we have a little bit of knowledge in that department. So I'm honored and privileged to have you this morning. And I really, really, really am looking forward to sharing your story with everyone. So why don't we start just by you kind of telling everybody about your story, about where you grew up, you know, kind of where you've lived, how you ended up in America, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. So I am Meaza Tesfahun. I grew up in Ethiopia, and I mean, Ethiopia is located in East Africa, on the Horn of Africa, and we have other names for us. We call ourselves as Habesha people. And I went to Kuwait. I grew up in Ethiopia until I was 22. I was in Ethiopia, and then I went to Kuwait. I had a job there, and I lived in Kuwait for almost 7 years. And I met my husband there, and I moved here. We lived there 6 years, and we went to Italy. I lived in Italy for 2 years. It was the best time too. I liked living there. And after that, we moved here. Me and my boys, I have 2 boys, Nico and Isaac, 8 and 6. We moved here in 2016. And that's how I ended up here.
And so what do you think about living in our country? I know I already know the answer, but I want you to share it with everybody that's watching this morning.
I love living here. I love the United States very well. I mean, the opportunities you can have, like you can be anything, you can do anything. Because I have experience living in other countries like Kuwait or Italy, even Ethiopia. I mean, I wouldn't get the opportunities I have here if I was living there. So here, I mean, you dream about something and you can make it happen if you work hard. So you're only required to work hard to get that, to get there, and to to reach your goal. So, I mean, that's why I started. I mean, I have to do something. I'm here and I wanted to be big, but I wanted to start small. So I dreamed about it and, it happened.
It's amazing. So would you share with everyone real quick? We discussed this yesterday in the office, but just what it is like, being a female in Kuwait. That was probably what we spent the most time talking about. But it was I think it provides a lot of perspective to us, because I think that a lot of the freedoms that we have, or the way of life that we have in this country, sometimes we all are guilty of taking that for granted. And I think that, what you explained to me yesterday really provided just a massive amount of perspective on that topic.
Yeah. So, I grew up in Ethiopia. I mean, Ethiopia isn't that oppressed, like women or, there's racism everywhere. Like it doesn't matter. In the same country, there's racism. And in my country, we have like 14 regions and we speak like more than 82 languages. And you can still experience racism through those places. But women can do things. It's not like we're oppressed or anything. But I went to Kuwait, and what I experienced is women are like nothing. In the Middle East, women are nothing. Like you're property. You're a property. Like you can't do anything you want. You can't drive if you want to. You have to be under somebody, a man. Like you have to have someone above you, which is a man or husband or a parent, a father, not even a mom. So even for the woman, even if you have little brother, you obey to that little brother. And it's just, it's very hard. It makes it difficult to do anything in that country. And as a woman, we experienced a lot. And as a, coming from different country too, you'll be treated like, sometimes like a dirt. I mean, it's so harsh to say that, but that's how they treat people, especially people who works for them. I was lucky enough not to work for them, since I wasn't there to work for any Arab person, but they can be very racist, very mean, and very disrespectful people. Like you get in depression, you'll be depressed. Even, 7 years is a lot to be in one place like that. It's like a prison for women. And I hear people complain about how women don't have the opportunities that men have. I really don't understand. Like I can't understand that, because you have to look. For me, if you're born here, you're privileged. Doesn't matter if you're a woman, man, white, black. If you're born in America, for me, and for most immigrants or for most foreigners, you are very privileged and you're very lucky, because not the other outside world don't have that kind of opportunity, that kind of treatment. And you can't do anything here. Like you can't do anything anywhere but here. So to complain and to be ungrateful, for me, it's just being too spoiled. That's what I tell people. You've been too spoiled because you have never seen how people live outside this place. So I always suggest, like, you travel or read a little bit to learn. Then you will be grateful. And when you're grateful, as you get more things, like you'll be blessed with so many things. So you have to learn to be grateful and appreciate what you have here. You cannot get it anywhere. Go and look. And the thing is, like, when you're educated here too, like if you're born here and if you have this country's education, you can work with it anywhere in the world, like anywhere. If we come, even if I am a doctor in Ethiopia, and if I want to come here and work, I have to go to school here again, because it's not going to count. But if you have any kind of education here, take it anywhere in the world and you will survive, you will succeed. So that's why, it's been too spoiled for me.
You just Just listening to you makes my heart smile because it is a perspective that I think, not everybody has lived, through what you've lived through. So it is proof that perspective is everything, right? That
Mhm,
your
mhm.
experiences have allowed you to experience that grateful nature that you have, because
Yes.
living somewhere else and then having that to compare. And I think that sometimes we get so caught up, right, in wanting things to be better, and that's part of what makes America great. But at the same time, I think that there's a balance there of
Mhm.
having a grateful heart for what we do have and for the
Yes.
blessings that we do have in this country, versus always. I like to say in my own life that I try to, and this is, if you've ever listened to Ed Milet, if you haven't, you should look him up. I'll send you his name. But he calls it blissful dissatisfaction. So it's like, you still have a positive heart, but you're never happy, but you keep moving forward, right?
Mhm.
I want to dive into, because, you've used the word dream and then converting that into reality and the ability to do that. I want to talk to you about the backstory of how you started your business. So just so everybody knows, her business is an Ethiopian coffee shop, and it is mobile. So she has that in an enclosed trailer that's super fancy and super cool. I assume that she built it all herself. She'll probably get into that here, which is incredibly impressive. She's got this massive generator that she was explaining to us yesterday that you can't see her because she's sitting down, but she's not very big, and she lugs this 100-pound
I am
generator around all by herself. And so
100 pounds.
I was just, when I got out of my vehicle that day and I walked up to you, I told so many people about meeting you, because I think that you are exactly the American dream. Like, it is the ability to see something and to go create it. And the reason that it meant so much to me is because I've done the same thing, right? I've seen something in my mind and I've gone out to create it, and I've taken that risk, and I've tried to do everything the right way. And so when I see someone like yourself who years ago, living in Kuwait, didn't even have the opportunity to drive, and I see you out there, and it makes a lot of sense to me as to why you lug that 100-pound generator, because you can, right? Because you have the ability to do that. But I want you to tell everyone the backstory of how did you come up with the idea, a little bit more detail of your business and what you're doing and what your plans are for the future.
Yeah. So ever since I was a little girl, like I always wanted to own something. Like I never wanted to be hired. So I always be like, I need to have my own thing. And I grew up like this because my mom was the most hardworking person I have ever known in my life. She was always making something, selling something. So I grew up watching her. And I always wanted to be her, but I'm still not there yet. Like I'm 1/4 of what she's doing. But when I came here, like, because I started coming to Cranberry Township since 2010, like every year, but I just moved for good 5 years ago. So when I used to come here, like I couldn't find any Ethiopian restaurant, because in the other states, like in DC and Virginia, they have them everywhere. They have like little Ethiopia villages everywhere. So I came here and I couldn't even find coffee. Like it was so hard for me to find good coffee. So I'm like, when I move here, I'm going to have my own restaurant. So I moved here and I start working on it, like planning what to do and how to start. But opening a restaurant will be too much work, and it requires a lot of investment. So I said maybe I should do a food truck. And then again, the food truck requires all kind of you have to have a certified kitchen and stuff, and I have 2 boys that I'm taking care of, so I don't like taking time from them. I like being fully here with them. Like I want to do things when they go to school, so when they're home I want to be home and provide. So I said when they start like full-time school, then I will start my food truck. And the food truck was a little bit work too. So I said, why don't I just start with coffee with a small trailer? Let me just start with coffee. So why I chose the coffee is because Ethiopian coffee is the best in the world, and the original place of coffee is Ethiopia. So coffee was found in Ethiopia on the 9th century. The 9th century, there was this shepherd. He was herding his goats, and he saw his goats being hyper, and they couldn't sleep all night. Like they were very hyper and jumpy. So he's like, why are they like that? So he went and tried the bean they ate that day. So he felt some hyper inside him. It was changed, like he had some energy. So what he did was he took the leaf and he took the beans to the priest, the priest by that time. So the priest was like, he didn't believe him. So the priest threw the beans on the fire. And then when he threw it on the fire, it start, the aroma start, when cooking. And they were like, that's good. I mean, it smells good and it smells like refreshing. So what the priest did was he took the roasted beans and he mixed it with water. So that's how it started, like the roasting and the boiling. And then it started going to, because a long time ago, we have this history. Ethiopia used to govern until Yemen. Like we were a big empire by then. The Aksumite Empire was the time. So it started traveling. So it went to Turkish, and because how Turkish had that big empire and those slavery trading. So since they were doing that, so that's the coffee went there. And I think by the 16th century, it reached Europe. Until then, it was only in Ethiopia. So I'm like, we have the history. Ethiopia is
I never
birthplace
knew
of
that.
coffee. I know. Most people don't know that, because most people know, like they say Arabic coffee or French coffee. They really don't know the history, the background of it. And the shepherd's name is Khalid. So Khalid is the one who found it, and the goats were the one who found it. Actually, the goats did found it in the 9th century, the 6th century. So I'm like, since I'm from Ethiopia and we're rich in tradition and cultures, why not do my own coffee? And I can't really find any coffee. Even I went to Starbucks coffee just makes me so hyper, like, and I can't sleep. I mean, some kind of, because I grew up drinking coffee. Like we roast our own coffee, we grind our coffee, and we boil it, and we have a clay pot that we boil our coffee with. So it gives you what you need for your body, but it doesn't make you like go crazy or to like it does to me in Starbucks. I don't know what they put, but I'm not like I do not like it. It just doesn't work for me. So when I was coming here to visit every year since 2010, I bring my own coffee. I bring my own coffee so I can make it wherever I'm staying. So I'm like, maybe I should go with the Ethiopian coffee. So that's what I did. And I dressed up my trailer with all Ethiopian traditional coffee ceremony pictures and traditional dressing patterns and all. So I can teach people. Every time somebody comes to my trailer, I will give them that information and how coffee was found and all. So that's why I went with the Ethiopian coffee, and I hope, and then the plan is start small. I don't want to be in a big debt or anything. So I wanted to start small, and in the future, when I get a name and more customers, all the recognition I want to get to my goal, and then I will go on a restaurant or a coffee shop, like a permanent one. Not like traveling, but for now I enjoy what I'm doing. I get to meet a lot of people, and I get to see lots different places, and hopefully I will have my own restaurant soon. And I will be the first Ethiopian. Now I'm the first Ethiopian coffee mobile coffee shop owner. So I will be in Cranberry. So I will be the first Ethiopian restaurant owner in Cranberry too. Because we don't really have it. Even in Pittsburgh, we don't have that much Ethiopian stuff. So I would like to bring
we
more.
have your first order here. Janice wants to order your coffee.
Thank you. When I start roasting, I'm still ordering for now because I'm not that big yet. But soon I will have my own roasting machine, so I can start roasting on my own, on my own desire. So then I will send it for her.
That's awesome. And I would encourage you to tell that story and to speak about the history as often as you can, because I think
yes, I do that.
Branding and incredible. It's a great story, right? People love to support, people like yourself. And the more that you tell that story, the more support you're going to get, So I put it up before, but I'll put it back up here. Just make sure that you guys go follow her page on Facebook. So it is Delina's Ethio Cafe. I'll share it in the link of this video. So getting to know you, one of the things that I've gotten to know that I really respect and appreciate about you is your faith. And I know that this business would not be possible without that it takes a lot of faith,
exactly.
that leap. And I'm sure that it has taken a lot of faith as you've been challenged with different situations. So I wanted to just kind of finish things out. This is my last question, then we'll have a quick discussion before we wrap up here. But what impact has your faith had, on your life, both growing up where you grew up and then, now having a business, living in America, having children? What role does your faith, has it had and continues to have on your life and how you live?
Yeah, my faith plays a big role in my life because we grew up Christian too. Like I told you yesterday, Ethiopia is the first nation to accept Christianity. It wasn't forced on us or anything. It's biblical too. It's on the Bible. It's on Acts. We received Christianity through the one Enoch who went to Jerusalem for a job. So he met the apostle Philip. So that's how we got the Christianity. After the Jews, we're the first one to have Christ. So, and then I said I learned this business mind from my mom, but the other thing, the greatest thing I learned from her was faith. So she raised, I watched her, like I have never seen a hardworking and a faithful person like my mom. She was always on her knee. She's always praying and like that. So I see what faith did in her life. And I grew up watching that and being raised in a Christian country and all that gave me the opportunity to believe in the truth and the light and how you can do anything. So what I learned is through my faith is like everyone is equal. We're equally made. So we're always favored. So there's nothing you can do. Like you can do anything through Christ. So for me, every time I even have I have some poster there that says through Christ the strength, you can do anything. So that's how I see that, and I always energize myself with the faith that I have, and I keep going. So my faith helps me not to give up. Like I lived in so many places. I went through a lot of hardship and all. If I didn't have faith, and I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be this strong, and I wouldn't start what I'm doing. You know how hard that is that I'm doing. Like the trailer, it's not an easy job, but I enjoy it, and I have the strength because of my faith. So my life is basically like praying, and I always get my prayers answered, and that keeps me more strong and keep forward. So that's what faith does for me, and it makes me appreciate things too. Like since I know I can do everything, and nothing will stop me from getting where I want to be. So it makes me appreciate everything that comes to me, like meeting you, and I meet people like you that will open so much doors for me. I mean, that's through my faith. Like I pray for those things, and those happens for me. So that's I live by faith. Basically, I live by faith. I can't do nothing without faith.
Well,
You have seen my car too. It's all over it.
it sure is. It sure is. You are very, it is very prominently placed and in several locations. That's for sure.
Yes.
And it was,
Yes.
it's funny because it was one of the first things that came up in our conversation. And I don't remember how it came up, but
I just saw the sticker on my car.
yeah. And, you know, it just, I don't know. You are just so impressive to me.
Thank you so
You
much.
know, when I met you, I knew that there was just like there's such a pleasant energy about you, and you know, you have such potential and such an incredible heart and mind that's going to take you to amazing places. And I feel just so blessed to have met you, and I will be a resource. I will help you in any way that I possibly can to make you a success, because I love your story. I love stories like this, and I just love the appreciation that you have for life.
Oh, I do.
Everything.
Yes. I mean, you have to appreciate, you have to be grateful for what you have, because other places don't have what we have here. Like, I'm so grateful. And I was very excited when I came a citizen this year. And you know what, the thing is, like, people take so many things for granted. You shouldn't. Especially if you're born here, you're able to do anything. You're privileged enough to have all you want here. All you need to do is work hard and appreciate and be grateful. I mean, you don't have to study like us to get citizenship. You know, we have to study all history. We have to go through, paperwork and all, just to become a citizen, because we want to, like, because this is the best place you can be in the world, for me and for so many people. So let's just be grateful and appreciate it, and more will be added on that. You know, that's how I believe.
Amen to that. Amen. Well, listen, I know everybody, there's a lot of comments for you to go through here, and a lot of new friends that you've met this morning. There's 30 something people here watching live. There'll be
Thank you so
hundreds
much.
or hopefully thousands if everybody that's on this stream will share this out, because I think that this is a story that a lot of people need to hear. So if you guys could do us a favor and share this out, please tell everybody where they can find you or your business on social media or online, or some of the places, if there's local people here in Cranberry, where they can find you. I know you move around a little bit, but where are some of your most popular places that you go?
I usually go to the place you met me, by the Home Goods in Cranberry Mall.
Yep.
And what I do is, on my Facebook page, every day, I post where I'll be setting up for the day. So I have the Facebook. For now, I don't have the website. I'm working on it. But the Facebook page can tell you where I will be, usually. For example, today I'm coming by the Target behind your office. So make sure you stop by.
We will. I'll bring the crew over to get some coffee.
That would be great.
What time are you going to be there?
From 9.
Okay.
Yes, starting 9. I'm planning to be there for today. So that's what I do. I just post it on my page, and people will see where I'll be setting up for today, for the day. So.
Eli says he'll be there.
Thank you so much.
You met Eli yesterday. My wife says she'll be there too. So you're going to sell a lot of coffee today. I can't
wait to see her too.
You're going to sell a lot of coffee today. So yeah, my wife said she friended you on Facebook last night.
I saw that yesterday, and I was very excited. I can't wait to see her today. And you'll have
to bring the kids over to the house and play with.
Because I was planning to get you guys to, so you can. I'm sure you never had Ethiopian food, so I would really love to make some Ethiopian food for you guys. That would be
done
great.
deal. Sign me up. Sign me up.
Of course, I will let you know. It requires some fermentation and all, so I will let you know when it's ready.
That sounds interesting. It sounds like something I need to experience. That's for sure.
Yes, you will love it.
Well, listen, I am grateful for you getting up in the morning and being willing to be here. You still got to go, get all your stuff ready to get moving today. Yes. So I just appreciate who you are as a person, and just the energy that you have and everything that you bring to this world, to our country. Just thank you for being you, and thank you for being willing to come on here and share your story. So I will share her Facebook page in the comments. I'll get everything linked up, and you guys can all connect with her and watch her journey to becoming a huge coffee shop and restaurant, because I know that it's going to happen. So
Yes.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to everybody that watched this morning, and I will see you again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys.